What kind of returns are we looking at as an American business person if we come here, plant? What kind of returns are you expecting? And also, from all your successes and failures, what are like the 3 biggest lessons that you've gained from them?
In terms of returns, I think each and everyone have different expectations. But one thing that I can tell you is that the returns that I have seen in Africa, I don't think I would have seen that elsewhere. I'm going to talk about myself. I have an opportunity that I've invested, let's say I've invested maybe $150 million in an opportunity, and the returns maybe $6 billion. So I don't know what multiples that is. So
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot, right? If you do the math, it's a lot.
A whole lot.
But there are some, someone may, like I said, I started with, I didn't have any capital. So you don't look at it as, what am I going to really get out of this? Don't look at it from that side. Look at it as, how do I get over this challenge? So this is a challenge. I want to be able to get over it. Because if you're able to get over the challenge, the success will come after that.
Yeah.
You don't try and figure out the money part, but the money part will come. The returns might be, like, I didn't think, I knew I was going to be successful. I didn't think I was going to be this successful. I ain't going to lie. Sometimes I got to pinch myself. Is this real? Like, so you may think, maybe you may be coming to Ghana, you're like, oh, I want to make $1 million. That's what you may think. But the things that you're doing, the opportunity could actually make you $20 million. But because in your mind, you want to make $1 million, as soon as you make $1 million, ooh.
You're comfortable, yeah.
The Lamborghini is about to come out. So, instead of you maybe focusing on, improving the business and, working smart and stuff like that, you set limitations. So I don't really like that part. I think that the opportunities here are really, really unlimited in terms of the rewards. So I don't like it to be that way. Some banks used to give like 10% fixed deposit interest rates. You put your money in the bank, you don't do nothing, they give you 10% per annum. So I'm just saying this, there are real opportunities over here. You just have to figure it out.
You spoke about the wealthiest black man in the world. He comes from Africa, comes from Nigeria. I wonder at this level, are there mentors, are there people that inspire you, right? Because what you're doing in oil and gas, I know in Nigeria, that was a project that they were working on. Rather than being one of the biggest imports of oil, trying to now become one of the biggest exports of it. Are you guys leaning on each other, or are we just watching success happen and saying, that's inspiring, or is there a connection here?
I've never really had a mentor, but which is okay, it's fine. Some people, have mentors, but I've never really had a mentor. However, I think, as I said, we are all a product of our surroundings. You learn, subconsciously from people. I've been blessed to have, a mother and father who were entrepreneurs. I think, looking back now, I've learned a lot from them without even knowing I was learning from them. I have a sister who was an entrepreneur, and I feel I've learned from her without necessarily knowing. I think that, you see people do things, and you might even be in college, or you might be in high school. You might learn from some professors, or So that's how it worked out for me. I didn't have the opportunity to sit down with anyone who had experience, because first of all, most people didn't want you to get in the business. They saw me as a young guy who's a threat. They didn't want me to get involved. So I didn't have the opportunity. If you have the opportunity to have a mentor, I think that's a very good thing. I just never had that experience, and it's fine. It's okay. Because if you are serious and you are focused, you're running a 100 meters race or a 1,000-meter race, you're serious about the finish line. It doesn't matter if someone is giving you a word of encouragement or stuff. However, like I said, I've had people who have given me advice on various things, on personal life and other things, which all play a role in your business life. But I've never had a mentor who steered me to avoid, mistakes that have been made by them or whatever it is. But it's fine. It's okay to have. It's great to have, and it's okay if you don't have as well.
We talked about some opportunities. What are some challenges that the continent faces? We were at Davos last year. We was at the Africa House, and they spoke about not being able to travel from a variety of different countries for African citizens, and the trade process, and that was a major concern. And I see countries now starting to lift travel bans and make it easier and not have. So from your perspective as an African on the continent, what are some challenges that you think could be improved across the continent as far as business is concerned?
I think the biggest issue that we need to overcome is ourselves, and how we deal with each other. That's the most important thing. How we deal with each other is the most important thing. Because, see, divide and conquer is real. So think about it this way. If you are from, let's say, Kenya, and you have the capacity to operate a mining field, and you are a bank in Kenya, and you can give him money to mine the gold or whatever mining field it is, you are cutting out the international banks, you are cutting out all those people. So the issue that we have here is this whole thing of we cannot do it by ourselves. We need aid, we need foreign assistance and stuff like that. So that is really ingrained in us. And if we are able to figure it out that, listen, let's give us, people of color, the opportunity to try certain things. Yes, we're going to make mistakes, but believing in ourselves and trying to, help each other, I think is the only way forward. Because by so doing, all these visa restrictions, all these other things, some countries give foreign, like Europeans, visa on arrival permit, but an African need a visa. How about that? You know what I mean? So, but if we are really, working together as for the success of the continent, we will let loose all those barriers that we put up. So I think it's more about us dealing with ourselves very well and stop the hypocrisy.
If you were starting a new business in 2024, what would be the 5 things you were focused on each day to grow that business like 1,000% in 1 or 2 years? No, we need the real answer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I live, I breathe, I sleep oil and gas. I know it inside out. If someone asks me, would you do it all over again? I'll do it all over again and again and again. So if I'm to start another business, it's going to be in the oil and gas industry. Okay. Oil and gas industry. Look, nothing comes easy, and
of course,
you simply don't even know the answers sometimes. You just figure, like I said, you just figure it out on the job. Like you started, you said you want to make 1,000% returns. Sorry. Look, I just lost a friend right before I got on stage, literally a few minutes ago. Yeah. Very good friend of mine, childhood friend. Sorry. I'm sure she had plans. Sometimes you may have all these plans, but things don't work out the way it's supposed to work out, yeah, which is fine. So you may want to make 1,000%. Maybe if you get into the business, you may make 10%, you may make 20%. It is fine. Like I said earlier, you can start a water bottle business. It may last only 2-3 years, but you may make some money out of that. And you may learn some experiences out of that. Out of that, you go into making microphones which work business.
A needed business.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so sometimes it's okay to start from somewhere. It may not turn out to be what you expect it to be, yeah, and you transition to something else. But all that is part of, you being built to something greater. You know what I mean?